What's up, Get Hacked? Hello, Raymond. Give me just a second. All right, everybody. That should get us doing. I'm doing good tonight, man. That should get us going. I see you there, King Kill All. How you doing? All right. We're going to wait for a few people to get in here, but first I'm going to go grab some bottles of water so we can actually have a few scalds, okay? Because we already got 5 up there. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get our first scald going. So how's everybody doing? I'm doing just fine. We're going to do a quick 5-minute hangout, then I'm going to get started on the topic, and then we'll have a hangout afterwards. Scald to our first 5. All right. Oh, I'm doing pretty good there, Alan. A little disturbed by some of the things that I've discovered tonight, but still doing pretty good. You know, guys, I've seen a lot of videos tonight, and I'm going to be discussing a lot of the ones that I saw. I'm going to be discussing the ones that actually, kind of got to me the most. And guys, I am afraid. You just ended your stream? Nice. But guys, I am afraid for when I get to be my dad's age. But what? You'll find out. But we actually have enough people here, so why don't we go ahead and start the topic? Tonight's topic is not just bad parenting, but it's also about these disrespectful generations that are coming up that are not just disrespectful, they're straight up violent. They're straight up, horrible to anyone around them. And they think it's okay because they grew up with parents that when they misbehave, they would laugh at the situation, go, oh, that's so cute. No, guys, it ain't cute. You need to do some discipline, guys. You need to be able to say no. You need to be able to put a hand to a bottle, guys. And that's just the truth, because if you don't, you wind up with what we got going on here. Now, I'm not going to say that COVID and the pandemic didn't have a huge effect on education. What's up, my Jin Jin? Hi, baby. What's up, subject? Hello, Busy Lizzie. How's everybody doing? But anyway, I got hair in my mouth from my mustache. But yo, Jin Jin. Well, anyway, guys, thank you all for joining. I hope you'll stick around because we getting the story started now. All right, guys. So whenever I was doing my research, because I wanted to do research on bad parenting, but what I ended up finding was more bad children than I did bad parents, guys. And it's because I'm finding out that these parents think that they're good parents because they're not disciplining their kids. Instead, they're giving them a timeout with a tablet. They're not much Scullio, but they're giving them timeout with a tablet. They're making them, go without a cell phone, and these kids are having meltdowns. I mean, absolute meltdowns. Not just at home, but they're having meltdowns in school. I believe this is an addiction, guys. This technology has become such an integral part of these little children's lives that looking for a second win. Thank you, man. But this, what's up, subject? But it's become such a terrible part of these children's lives that they can't live without it. Guys, I saw a video where a mom convinced her son that by running in place, he would charge his iPad. And that little kid was going so fast with his feet trying to get that iPad to charge that she had to have him tied down to the entertainment center because he's bouncing all back and forth all around the floor. You know, he's trying his dangest to charge that sucker as fast as he can. And the horrible part about this is that this kid is old enough to be like probably at least in kindergarten. He should know that running in place doesn't charge your laptop or charge your iPad. You know, guys, I seen a teacher that quit, straight up quit, because she taught 7th grade and these kids couldn't read at anything but a 4th grade level. You know, they just don't care anymore. They don't care about going to school. They don't care about going to class. They don't care about getting an education. You know, because the school is just pushing them through. Because you have all these parents now, these, you know, Gen Z or whatever you want to call it. You have the generations that are mine and below that don't know how to discipline their kids or refuse to discipline their kids because they think it's oppressive somehow, or they think that it's going to cause trauma, or they think that it's going to, you know, make their kids resent or hate them later on in the future. Guys, I don't resent or hate my parents for disciplining me. I thank them for it because I was stupid. You know, guys, after the 3rd time of telling me don't get near the daggum hot barbecue pit, I'm glad they spanked my bottom for it because it was a lot better than when I accidentally really did burn myself on a barbecue pit. It hurt a lot worse, but it still taught me my lesson, you know, guys. And I've been seeing these kids that are throwing fits and just tossing stuff around inside of a convenience store, or even one was doing it inside of a Walmart. And when the parents were being confronted by the staff, the parents literally started cussing out the staff. You know, for telling them, you know, don't tell us how to take care of our kids. For telling them, don't tell us, you know, yeah, kids aren't just bored in school. You know, they just don't want to pay attention anymore because there was a 7th grade teacher that was talking about his students were literally only coming to school just to get high, and he worked in a really good school district. You know, there's all these different videos that I've been finding from spreading all over here in America and all over the, you know, that is a terrible situation. And a lot of the times when the kid starts failing, or the kid quits passing his classes, or the kid quits going to school, it's the teachers that are getting blamed. It's not the student for bad behavior. Hey, we got our 10th like, let's get a scald going. But it's not the students for bad behavior, even if there's records of the bad behavior. You know, it's literally apparently somehow the, you know, educator's fault. And guys, that is not right on behalf of our teachers. You know, that really is making it hard for anyone to want to be an educator. Here's to the 10th like. Skull. But one of the great things that I've been hearing is that, you know, America's supposed to be getting better in the education system. Guys, no, we're not. We're getting worse. We're having things like social justice warrior days, where kids are being taught how to basically be protesters, how to, you know, write pickets and how to write protest music and things like that. There are teachers out there that are literally trying to teach agendas instead of teaching arithmetic. And thank you very much, Mr. Bentz, but they're not teaching what they're supposed to do. You know, they're not educating our children. That's why they had to take reading and math out of some schools and make it an elective. It's an elective? When I went to school, that was an essential part. You know, you learn how to read in 1st grade. When did this become a problem? When did reading become a problem? And I think a huge part of it is these kids aren't being challenged enough with anything other than a video game. And we're having issues where their only problem solving is how am I going to set my next Roblox character up? Or their only problem solving is how am I going to build my next castle in Minecraft? You know, and it's very, very disheartening to know that these kids are growing up thinking that this is an important, essential part of life, and it's not. You know, and we have these moms And sometimes dads, and a lot of dads actually now, because a lot of dads are now just sitting around playing video games themselves, which isn't right either. I mean, yes, they go to work, they work however many hours they need, they come home, they take care of their families. But what I'm saying is, when it's their free time, instead of spending it with the kids and trying to go maybe have some outside time, maybe go to a local forest or go fishing or something like that, instead he's sitting inside playing a video game because he's wore out. And there's the stay-at-home mom, which I'm not talking about the ones that literally don't cook, clean, or do anything else. I'm talking about the ones that actually do things, ones that actually work their butts off. And, they're exhausted at the end of the day too. And we're losing the grasp of the family, guys. We're losing the grasp of what it means to be parents. We are having situations where kids are growing up where the only people they respect are their parents. The only people they think that are an authority figure of any kind that they should listen to are their parents. I seen a young girl pepper spray her teacher over a cell phone. He took her cell phone away from her, which, as far as I've always known, cell phones aren't a part of school, but he took her cell phone away from her and she pepper sprayed him in the face. She straight up maced him, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and then proceeded to attempt to kick him in the groin before another teacher pulled her off. Guys, all over a cell phone. And that I saw another student slap a teacher and have the teacher reach his breaking point. Now, this is not good on the teacher's part, because this looks really bad as an educator to have done this. But he straight up slaps her back. But she reared back to slap the heck out of him over again, him telling her, get off your phone. They showed another one where a young girl straight up flips off her teacher. Excuse the finger, they mean to. But straight up flips off, what's up, superior? But straight up flips off her teacher and tells her that she don't got to do that work because her parents said that she don't need an education. Since when do you don't need an education? I mean, guys, this is becoming a serious problem. If we have a nation full of duds, then who's to stop boots from hitting the ground? If we've got a nation full of dunderheads, who's going to lead it? We are looking at an actual real problem here. We need to revamp the education system, just like we need to revamp our governmental system, just like we need to revamp everything about our country right now. We need to grow, not digress. And right now, guys, we are digressing. We have high school students that can't even tell you who the first president of the United States is. We have junior high students that are more worried about relations with other students and relations with their teachers even, and, getting high. Guys, this is not right. This is not the America I was raised in. It has changed so much in a simple 10 years that I don't even recognize her anymore. Guys, we don't even say apparently saying the Pledge of Allegiance is bad. I didn't know. Since when was saying the Pledge of Allegiance bad? Since when was the Star Spangled Banner considered to be white supremacy? And these are things that are being taught to our children. And these are also kids that are being taught this, of all ages, of all races. And this is just not cool. It's not good. It's actually digressing our country, and it's causing a huge rebellion that's happening amongst the youngsters. And this is all due to what I believe is bad parenting. People who aren't taking their job as parents seriously. They're not looking into their child's actual needs. They're not wanting to discipline them. They're not wanting to raise them. They're wanting to let computers do it. They're wanting to just not have to deal with the problems. They're letting them run rampant. I even seen reports of parents, basically mutilating their kids by forcing them to go through gender therapy. And these things are all things that shouldn't be happening to children. Children should be able to run and play and go to school and be safe and experience fun things that are educational, that help teach them about the world, guys. Not, you know, that there's 76 different genders. Not that it's bad to be white. Not that it's bad to be black. Not that it's bad to be anybody. But they're being taught these things. These things are being shoved down their throat. You know, it's just, it's not things that I would ever want to see in my life. You know, I thought that this would never happen. But guys, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. These students are getting angry. They're lashing out. And there's teachers that are quitting left and right. We're losing educators. Blah. We're losing educators regularly. You know, there's a TikTok trend of teachers quitting. You know, and there's literally just trend after trend after trend of these children that are misbehaving and these parents that are laughing about it or that are promoting it. You know, there's teachers that are humiliating students. There are, you know, students that are trying to humiliate the teachers. These things are, and some of these acts that are being done, these are learned acts, these are taught acts. And a lot of these responses of, you're not my mom, you're not my dad, you know, this is a show for somebody not showing, you know, their child how to respect authority. You know, this is people that are of this mindset to where kids should be able to raise themselves, and that's not right. You know, that's bad parenting. When you get down to it, you're letting your kid run wild, you know, and they're just going insane, you know, and it's just, I worry about the generations to come. And it's because when a big bad situation happens, these guys are going to fold. And it's because they're being taught to fold. They're being taught. They're being indoctrinated. Not only are they being indoctrinated into different things. What's up, BMC? But not only are they being indoctrinated into different things, but they're being treated like, dare I say, cattle in a lot of ways. You know, and it's going to have a terrible effect on the planet. You're going to have people that are going to rise to power, that aren't going to understand how to truly do things. They're going to run things haphazardly. You're going to have economic crisis. You're going to have business crisis because nobody's going to want to work. You're going to have educational crisis because nobody's going to want to go to school. And you're going to have riots and all these other things. And it's just because you're losing the things that make human beings decent. You're losing the discipline. You're losing the understanding of authority. You're losing the, you know, intelligence to be able to use the emotions that are flowing through your body properly. And to be able to understand that you are more than the sum of your parts. You're actually many, many things rolled into one. And if you use these talents, you can rise above almost any situation. But instead, we bog ourselves down with the latest trends, the latest fashion, the latest news on, you know, social media. And we don't even actually look at what's going on. The whole reason why I love this platform that I have here, guys, and the whole reason why I love talking to all of y'all is because Night Sanctums hasn't risen any, actually, at all. We're still at $15. But anyway, you know, it's been this horrible front that has been put on that we're this incredible nation. Guys, we're not an incredible nation anymore. We're a problem. And I'm calling out all of my fellow Americans. I don't care who you are. I'm calling you out. Don't act a fool. Please be respectful. please learn discipline. Please teach discipline. Please teach wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the world. And let's quit this horrible narrative of somebody versus somebody else. Let's quit this horrible way of you're wrong for the way you're born, whether it's boy or girl, white or black. Let's quit this narrative. It's tired. It's old. It's not progressive. It's digressive. And not only is it digressive, it's regressive in the way of our minds. If we don't continue to educate our brains, they're going to not be needed anymore. And we're going to regress back into more bestial states. It'll take many generations. But I don't want to see it happen at all. I want to see us progress as a species. I want to see us attain the pinnacle that we can. And guys, we can't do that if we keep this war against each other and we keep these parents who don't have any knowledge of how to raise a kid, and we keep these education systems that are failing our children, and all these things that are going wrong. We're just not even bothering to fix them. Hell, we're not even talking about it. Nobody's talking about the fact that they took reading out of school. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the fact that they are literally just dismantling everything that my country has stood for. I don't know how it is in everybody else's country, but they're dismantling everything here. And it's all over different agendas. And it's separating everybody into these little boxes. And I remember when my grandfather used to tell me about a situation similar to that. It's called segregation. Guys. And there's never anything good about segregation. When you start having separatists and you start splitting into different groups that have generationally born in hatred for each other, there is no way for progress to happen. There is only digression until someone is left standing. And when that person is left standing, then the winner owns the pen. So they can write whatever history they want. And then everything's changed. And the truth is no longer taught. The truth is now hidden because people don't want to hear the truth. People don't want to know that there were white slaves. People don't want to know that, your kid might be being taught by a possible psycho. Guys, that's the whole reason why, even though my mother wanted me to, because I'm kind of knowledgeable, she wanted me to learn how to be a teacher. I don't want to teach because I'm psychotic. I'm literally psychotic. I'm schizophrenic. But even a schizophrenic can see what's going on, guys. I'm mentally challenged and I can see what's going on. That is sad. That is terrible, because the more we have these situations going on, the less people there are to actually be able to sit back and work on cures for people like me with epilepsy and schizophrenia. There are less people to sit back and work on therapies for soldiers that come back from Iraq and Iran. There are less soldiers to go to war to protect our freedoms. There are less people to be in the workforce because you can't trust half the people because they're too dumb. They're too stupid. Guys, and when it gets to the point where you're by nature, guys, there's an issue, and the sad part about it is we are seeing a rise in these people that are taking and glorifying, criminal activity. They're glorifying all the things that these people are talking about, that is just so heinous and so terrible. They're glorifying these things. They are intentionally promoting angry thoughts. And we see this rising in the media constantly, not just in social media, but we're starting to see it in Hollywood. We're starting to see it in our small town productions. Everybody used to complain about whitewashing, and now everybody's complaining about race swapping. Guys, South Park's making fun of it like crazy. Guys, the whole Rachel Ziegler fiasco with Disney was just, that was a nightmare. But that her actions was what drove that nightmare. And guys, if you act that entitled and you act that self-important and that narcissistic and that angry and that unaccountable for your actions attitude, it's never good. It's going to drive everyone and everything in your life away from you. It's going to make you look like a terrible person because A, you're going to make mistakes. Own up to it. B, you need to get an education so you're not a dumb nit. All right? And C, you need to learn that there are people in charge, because when you go to a work at a job and your boss goes to tell you what to do and you look at him and say, you ain't my daddy, he's going to look at you and go, for about the next 4 or 5 hours I am. And he's going to tell you to get back to work if he don't fire you. You know, guys, we've got to start teaching work ethic. We've got to start teaching morals. We've got to start teaching literature. We've got to start teaching science again. We've got to start teaching math again. What happened to having educational programs after school? You know, there was nothing wrong with coming home and sitting down to Bill Nye the Science Guy or Beatman or, you know, Schoolhouse Rock, you know, even. And we're getting rid of all these things. And we're teaching kids that it's okay to use a proper grammar because it's somebody's pronouns. We're teaching kids that it's okay to, you know, I believe it's okay to express individuality, but we're not indoctrinating them. Let them grow up. Let them find out their individuality. Let them discover who they are on their own, and then let them come to you. You know, guys, that's what you got to think. You can't just indoctrinate them into the way you want them to be. You know, not if you're not the parents. If you're the parents, and that's a gray area. But when it comes down to teachers, lay the heck off the way these kids are, seriously. You know, I mean, when it comes down to the bad kids, yes. Well, we got 15 likes. Let's get a scald going. But, you know, lay into the bad kids for sure. But when it comes down to all these other kids that are just trying to make it through your class, there's no reason to sit there and tell them they're bad because they're straight, or they're bad because they're white, or they're bad because they're pink with purple polka dots. I don't care what color you are. It's bad to sit there as a teacher and tell them, those kids, they're bad inherently because of them being born. There's nothing worse than you being told your existence makes you worthless. This coming from somebody whose family did it to him for years. Scald to the 15th like. And the audacity of these teachers sometimes that make these parents, you know, rage out. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. At this point in time, I would never put my child in school. I would homeschool my kid. They will have a better education through me. You know why? Because I will actually make them sit down and do math. I will actually make them sit down and do their schoolwork. They will learn science. They will learn engineering. They will learn everything they need to know. And by the time they're done, they'll even know the old school methods of how to survive. So it doesn't matter what the world throws at them, new age, old age, or, you know, survival. They can do anything. And that's what our founding fathers were like. They could do anything. Guys, these people were 10 years old and learning a trade. Usually by that time, past their apprenticeship, into their novicehood. You know, guys, and George Washington, you know, owned a business by the time he was 16. You know, and all these different great founding fathers, they did incredible things. You know, we have a huge shoes to fill. And guys, we ain't even filling the big toe. We ain't even touching the pinky toenail right now. You know, we need to do better. We need to start producing the best engineers in the world. We need to start producing the best mathematicians in the world, just like we used to. The best scientists, the best literature. You know, that was one of the things that America and the world was known for. We produced the best of something. And guys, we're getting away from that. We're starting to lean more towards this digital age, which is understandable. The world does need to move forward with technology. But guys, we need to quit letting it rule our lives. These kids are like a face hugger when it comes down to that phone, man. You know, it's like some kind of alien technology that has taken a hold of their brains. You ever seen that movie Cell? Yeah, boy. Somebody ever figured out some way to do that? You know, send some kind of virus or something like that through a digital setting? America would be in some trouble because we'd all be infected in an instant. Even myself, because I use this to try to make some cash. You know, not just for myself, but for other people. I have the Night Sanctum that I mentioned down here in my little chat. That's actually my charity, guys. I'm trying to raise money for a school in Ghana. I'm trying to raise, I thought it was Nigeria, it's Ghana. But I'm also trying to raise money for a state park here in my own home country. You know, so let's try to get everything together. What's up, Rock? What's up, Gianna? You know, and we have this huge situation that's boiling over. And I have this horrible, horrible feeling that it's only going to get worse. So, guys, if we don't change it, we're going to have to accept it. And if we got to accept it, guys, we might be bending over for it because we're going to be that screwed. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, I've done my 30-minute rant. So let's go on ahead and get with the hangout, shall we? Oh, yeah, there we go. There's my Jin Jin. Sorry, baby. We pinned that message for you. You need to go potty, Shuck? Is that what you're doing? Guys, let me walk my dog real quick. I'll be right back, everybody. All right? Let me go get my dad to take and put his dog away. Wait, Shuck. Backyard. Alright guys, I'm back. Chuck decided he wanted to stay outside and play with sticks. What's up, Penguin? Welcome into the show. Hey everybody, sorry country girl sweet, what you crying for? Yep, I'm back. I had to walk my dog real quick. He decided he wanted to stay out in the backyard and play. Yeah, he's still sick, man. That sucks. Oh, no. It's my medication time. I left my meds in the living room. Oh, my God. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to me. Oh, all right. Thank you there, subject. Oh, you talking to her. What was your last live about? It was just a hangout. I didn't have a very long live last time. I did Final Thoughts. I was not feeling you. Oh, no kid, man. I can't believe I found you guys too. You know, one of the great things I've noticed about these platforms is they can bring people together. You know, they can bring a lot of like-minded individuals together and give someone a place where they can feel accepted. You know, and that's what I try to give here. What's up, Brandy? Yeah, they are far in between nowadays. But how you guys doing for sure? Sorry I had to do that little rant about bad kids and bad parenting. But I originally looked up bad parenting videos, and it just turned into video after video about children just being terrible. Oh, thank you, man. See you later, Gianna. Why's your body hurt there, Rock? What, you been working out? Welcome back in, Brandon. Oh, man. Guys, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, and bell icon. Come join the family and join the conversation, everyone. We're hanging out now. All right. There's my psych meds. Why does your hand feel bad? Working a 13-hour day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll wear your body out for sure there, Rock. Yeah, lay down and relax for sure. You know, guys, we're almost at 19 there. Almost at one more like, and it's time for another scald. Oh, you punched something really hard? Okay, we'll see you in a minute there, subject. Yeah, I've been there before. I've been so angry. Oh, well, there's my 20th like. But I've been so angry before, I actually punched a brick wall. Regretted it. Broke my pinky knuckle and my knuckle right before it. But it was a good boxer's break. So it healed pretty easy. You know, yeah, I punched a brick wall. Skull to the 20th leg. Oh no, I got water on my axe. No! There is no water to get on my axe. It's dry. Good. Huge move. Oh, wow. 3 sets of stairs. Yikes. Stairs suck when you're moving stuff. Punch in the ground and not the dog. Whatever stairs are. So, guys. Oh, hello, Jeannie. What you doing? Welcome into the show. But yeah, guys, if you would, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you would, we are trying to help a school in Ghana, and we're also trying to help with the Friends of Village Creek State Park. So we're trying to help keep a state park open, and we're trying to help a school get some school supplies, guys. That's what the donations are about. Yeah, welcome into the family. Welcome into the clan, Jeannie. Nice to have you on the show. But what's up, Zoe? How you doing, girl? And Kat. I always forget there's actually 2 of you. Oh, it's good to see you here too, Mr. Rebel. So anyway, guys, yeah, we are, if you wish to contact me for any questions about the Knights of the Holy Rose Sanctum or the Knights Sanctum, you would go right here to this email address. That's my personal email. Just shoot me a message, you know, guys, and I'll respond. I don't get any emails that often unless it's to do with Dark Knight Armory. No problem, Mr. Rebel. Good, Zoe. Oh, wow. We got a bit of a lover's quarrel going on up in here. Let's see how this plays out. But, guys, we also have the parts I was missing now in this little container right here to be able to finish out our walking staffs. So I'll be able to hang them up now so I can paint them properly and get them all nice and thoroughly coated in the tung oil. And they'll be done in about 3 or 4 days if I do this tomorrow. If it'll quit raining! Oh my God, it rains more than a dead gum. Ooh, rains more than a damn rainforest right now. Plays the treble. Zoe Cat. I like that. Zoe Cat. We can just do Zoe Cat. So welcome in, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Come join come join the family. Apparently, I can't talk. And don't forget to go and check out my girl down below on the pinned comment at JenHolder976. Everybody, go check her out. She's a wonderful young lady. She does Christian content. Even though she loves a little old pagan man like me, she does great Christian content. She also does country music, coloring videos, and NASCAR. So you guys might like those out. When football season hits, she'll be jumping on that boat too. But I do a lot of, old school knowledge and things of that sort. I also do some crafting on here from time to time. Yeah, that is a good question. What is your profile pic? It looks like marbles. But how's everyone doing? Yeah, I was into HEMA, historical European martial arts, which is why I enjoy wearing armor and stuff like that. It reminds me of the good old days back whenever I actually used to fight with real swords and stuff. The only thing is they weren't sharpened and they had a blunt rounded tip. But it was still wearing something like this and getting smacked with a chunk of metal still hurts. It don't stop kinetic force. You love basketball? There's nothing wrong with that. You're just tired there, Mr. Rebel. Nice, my Jin's back. Nice. But yeah, guys, these forums, they definitely give people a wonderful place to be able to come and be together and become friends, as you guys can see. We have such an incredible clan here, and they're all so welcome. So just pop on in, everybody, and say hi. Anyone's welcome here. As long as you're respectful. You've got to be respectful. That's our main rule. Oh, I got you. Wow, we talking up a storm tonight. Why do we have to hear the screams of war and blood of the innocent? I got you, man. Mr. Block Jessica? Why did Mr. block Jessica? He blocked her from this stream? What Jessica do? Well, he blocked her, so I can't see. I don't know. It's no big deal anymore. Oh, she was hitting on you. Okay, Mr. Rebel. That's understandable, man. That's understandable. You met a soldier yesterday, an American soldier or an Aussie soldier? I don't know what y'all call them. Troops? Soldiers? Aussie. An Aussie's an Aussie. I like that. Nice, Mr. Rebel. Way to be respectful there, man. Logistics truck. Okay. Nice. Well, yeah, but at the same time, he's got to ask him to be respectful. No, Penguin, I doubt you're ugly. You know, nobody in my clan's ugly. They're all beautiful in their own way. Never let your light dull for any reason. You know, guys, if you think you're not beautiful, look at what you can do. There's a beauty to that. 59 subscribers, nice. You should be able to go live here soon. Thank you, Penguin. I'm taking. Thank you. Nice for on the 59 subs. 60, nice. Oh, you're all good, Penguin. Yeah, you should be able to start going live here really soon, man. So, where's my Jin Jin? Where's my girl? She fall asleep on. Oh, thank you, Subject, for being so sweet. One new subscriber. Hey, it always starts with one. You see, guys, this is what I mean by a good community. There's my Jin Jin. There's my Jin Jin. Let's see how it's going tonight. Well, the no's are having it tonight. The no's are having it tonight. Nice. So, guys, I'm trying my hardest on this charity. And I really love to see the Knights of the Holy Rose Sanctum become a real thing. But I'm starting to get a little discouraged on it because it just seems like nobody wants to trust it. But hopefully when I sell or auction off a couple of these first 3 stabs, then hopefully we'll be able to get some money together. $15, $5 for the school, and $10 for the park. I tried setting up my PayPal, my phone went wonky, and I forgot to do it again since. There's been a lot going on, man. I'm sorry. Nice, 60. Yeah, I just keep forgetting about it, Subject. You're always reminding me of it. And then I'm like, dang, I forgot about it. Or it's like, shoot, I did that and I started it and I didn't finish it. So, yeah, I got to get it done, man. And thank you for staying on my butt about that. You know, there's just a lot of, I was doing most of the research for the show tonight. All right. So, Mr. Rebel and Country Girl there, have y'all exchanged emails yet? I'm curious. I wonder. Thank you there, Subject. I'll make sure I get it done tomorrow. You need a ton, Mr. Rebel? I'm sorry to hear that. I subscribe to you, though, man. I have a new one for you. You on in, I will try my channel to get off work and subscribe and like. Oh, nice, Mr. Vince. No, not yet. I got you. What's up, Original Agriculture? Welcome into the show. I don't spend all of my random. I got you. I got you. Give you a word to rap. Rat trap. You're in Canada? Yeah, I know that one too, Penguin. So I need to get a PayPal for you guys. I'll probably be putting a PayPal up there. Yeah, I got to get PayPal instead of Cash App. I thought Cash App was all around the world. I didn't realize it was just America and the UK. So now I kind of feel like a dingus. Should have done my research. Oh, man. But like I said, there's so much going on that sometimes I skip the little things and I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. I should pay attention more often. But yeah, I'll get a PayPal so you guys can donate from overseas. And neighbors up north. Rat Trap there, Mr. Vince. Let's go with Rat Trap, which we got 10 minutes left, guys. Actually, 9 minutes. No, I'm about to have to go let my dog back in. So give me just a second, guys, while he thinks of the rat. Yeah, Rat Trap. Hold on, guys. Let me go let my dad's dog out, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. I have to return. All right. Welcome back in, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Well, I'm welcoming myself back, I guess. See you later there, Mr. Rebel, I guess. Out of curiosity, your style. I don't want to word it wrong, but where does your way of living, like with that things you make and style, come from? Oh, I don't mind you asking. I started out enjoying sword and sorcery films whenever I was a kid, you know, like Conan the Barbarian and Beastmaster and movie Excalibur and things like that. And not only that, I was influenced by the Dark Crystal and a few other films. When I found out that I was actually descended to Vikings, or descended from Vikings, I flipped my lid. And I've been obsessed with it ever since. So I started learning how to wield the axe. I started learning how to wield the sword, you know, and I'm not the best, but I've won a few competitions, just, you know, mainly with the axe. But thank you for asking, Brandon. Yeah, I'm descended from Vikings. Mainly Eric the Red. That's why I wear a Thor's hammer on both my hand and my neck. Thank you, Brandy. Well, guys, we have got a little over 5 minutes to go. We got 5.5 minutes to go. Read your rap for the Rat Trap. I didn't see your rap, dude. That looked actually pretty good, but from what little bit I saw, but I thought it was pretty good. If you would, type it again. Let's see you do some more about Rat Trap. There's a lot of different games out there. That's why I like my game, Realms of Exterior. It's pretty fun to play, actually. All right. We go back up. All right. I got you, man. I got you. I like it. I like it, bro. That's a really good one there, man, Mr. Vince. Seeing all my favorite people here, it's always amazing, man. It always is. You know, and I was sorry I was gone for a little while. Shuck didn't want to come through the door. I read that comment thing when I didn't have to go poo-poo. It would have taken longer than that. And I definitely would have taken the armor off before going. But I'm glad everybody was able to show up today, guys. Yeah, not very many people like to always talk. Some people like to just listen. What's up, Randall? How you doing, buddy? Oh, you're all good, Penguin. I'm messing with you. How you doing, Randall? Welcome into the show, man. I was talking about my axe all the time. That's my axe I train with, brother. And this is the short sword I made. Tired, man. Spent the rest of the day fighting to get a charger for your phone. Man, that sucks. I love my axe, yes. Yeah, thank you, Randall. I hand forged that one. Of course, I used a power hammer for part of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm currently working on this blade here. I ran out of propane, so it's unfinished. But I'm currently working on this one here that's a Viking sax. You know, I got to do a little bit more work on it, clean her up real good, but I got to stretch my tang out on it. But that's going to be me a good Viking sax. Nice, man. I like it, Mr. Vince. Watching Holes? What you mean watching? Oh, the movie Holes. That's cool. But yeah, I like that old movie. Well, anyway, guys, we're down to our last minute. So, you know, I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are the absolute backbone of the show. Y'all are 100% incredible. Thank you all for showing up. And we hope to see you here next time. Same place, same location, same time. You know, so we'll catch you all next time, everybody. Remember, see you from a swamp, later from a gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself. Be kind. Always find a way to help, guys. Check you all here next time, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.